Hi guys, and welcome here to another video on Sepa channel. Today we will be speaking about the maintenance cost for car, a small car. I mean, it's not the smallest, but it is quite small. We will be talking about Toyota Corolla. It was been known as Toyota AURIS as well for a while, I guess for about 10 years, and then they decided to change the name again. Marketing stuff, we're not going into there. So I have divided the cost basically of maintaining the car on 3 years of ownership in 6 months periods. So we will have 6 periods, each of them of 6 months, and we will be discussing uh, about basic maintenance, but also stuff that it has been changed without being necessarily basic maintenance. Although nothing major has gone wrong, it was quite a bit of a cost. So if you see the total cost here, it says 1,300 and almost £5. That's not including labor, which it's about maybe 200 for the things that I couldn't do myself, but apart from that is DIY. So I guess I've saved a lot on that side. So let's take it from the beginning. As you can see, at first it has been serviced by the dealership that I got it from. It had the engine oil filter, air filter, cabin filter, and spark plugs changed. And roughly it cost £86. And on our planner I put £0 since it was free technically. Although when you buy a car, not necessarily it will be the case, so you might have to pay for your service. Therefore, I just added up together there, so from the total it would have been 1,390 in this instance. Moving to the next period of 6-12 months. By the way, the car has 30,000 miles, which is 50,000 kilometers in 3 years. I mean, it's almost 3 years, not exactly 3 years. It will be in October, so basically in about 2 months, 2 months-ish. But this is basically what has been done so far. So the next period when I had to service the car myself, I changed the engine oil filter, tie rod end, and drop link. These two I've changed them myself with the help of a friend. Um, Basically, the tie rod end, it has been changed because the dealership flagged it as being having that rubber which is on top um, damaged. However, that wasn't actually the case. In the picture that they provided, it was much worse than it was actually in real life. But I've changed them anyway because, to be honest, I've ordered them and then I just realized that it's not that bad and it could work. But I've just replaced them since I had them. The AC service that was done at the dealership and it has costed £80. Um, in here, I just realized that I also paid for some number plates because the ones from the car was damaged, but I guess that's not actually maintenance. Um, it was a little bit a different item. It says here, I know EU number plates, yeah, these are two and are this separately, but in the first month or so from when I bought the car, I actually had to change the front number plate for which I paid like £7. So it's something that costs like as much as a kebab, so I wouldn't even take it in consideration. You have there the battery. That's an interesting story actually because although it started okay, the battery was about 10 years old. No, actually, at that point it was like 9 years old. Anyway, it was still the original battery, and it happened to me in the past when the battery simply died, and I have this phobia that just I don't know, one morning just start trying to start the car and it won't start. So I got a battery. I got a pretty good deal on a Bosch battery, 95 pounds. I guess it was worth it. The battery is still on the car 2 years later. I think it's out of warranty. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 years or whatever, but it's still running fine. I had to change the headlights bulbs, and for some reason, this car, the manufacturer chose to have HIR2 fitted, which is expensive compared to H5, H7, or whatever H1 you have on other cars. I don't know why they did this, but it was quite expensive, like 10 pounds a bulb in comparison with like maybe 2 pounds for others. But yeah, I basically had to replace them both. Although I have one which it was still good, I keep it as a spare. For example, if I'm going abroad in France, you kind of need a spare bulb from each one. I had to change the bulb, but this time it was like the signaling bulb and others, but they were quite cheap. As you can see, all of them were like £7.50. LED upgrade. This is basically for the interior lights, and it costed like a 25 pounds, but you can see the difference. And we have like a video on the channel with, I'm not sure if it's a short or it's actually a full video with a comparison how it was before and now. I had to change the tires. It's again a video on the channel. It's the Goodyear efficient grip performance 2. They are still there, still okay. I had to have the wheel alignment for the front wheels because the tread was not even. So basically I had to do that. As I was saying, 2 EU number plates because I had to change them. I was going in holiday in Europe, and basically you need to have that flag, UK flag on it. Air filter, which was £6, and cabin filter, which was £7.50. Some of the parts they were bought from DIY service car parts, and some of them from Arnold Clark car parts. Both of them are okay. And you can see this service cost actually 458. Well, it wasn't actually only a service. In this case, I didn't even change the oil in this period, but you can say it was quite a lot. Then 18 to 24 months. This was basically focused on the brakes. We had to replace the brake pads, brake rotors, and I changed the brake fluid. Actually, this was actually done by a garage, not by me. And this belt, it's actually the belt which runs the AC and so on. It was only changed because it was cheap and it was 10 years old. It made sense. Actually, the mechanics insisted that it is not necessary to change it. I said, okay, I bought it anyway, we're gonna change it. It took like 5 minutes, and the new belt was on the car. In this instance, I paid about 340, not bad if you ask me, for Techstar brakes. Pads including rotors, front and back. They are still on the car, still going strong. Moving had 24 to 30 months. In this case, we had to change the engine oil filter, air filter, cabin filter, and water pump. The water pump actually started to make some noise. There is a short on the video with a comparison with the old water pump and new water pump. The old one had a sound. However, the bearing didn't move too much, but it had to be changed. Engine oil, Castrol, not the best, not the worst, but definitely the price is there, is good. Air filter, oil filter, air filter, and cabin filter, or all of them from Borg & Beck. I used MAN filters before. I used even first line filters, whatever, but these ones are the best quality price. And this was basically a simple service. Although it was simple, it cost about 100 quid, which is not bad. Moving to the very last service that it was done, engine oil. By the way, why is the difference here? Because this one was like a container with 4 liters, and this one was like 4 containers containing 1 liter each. The car actually takes 4.2 liters, but I only put 4. It's okay. It's like the amount of oil which still remains in the engine, it's like 0.1 whatever, so it doesn't make any difference, especially because I tend to change the oil every 10,000 kilometers or 6,000 miles, so that means it doesn't get a chance to be used by the engine or anything like that. Anyway, it doesn't lose oil, or it doesn't use oil. It's still the same level as in the beginning. So engine oil, oil filter, air filter, cabin filter, spark plugs, NGK, £9 each, made a difference. Actually, the MPG is now much better. If you ask me, I'm getting like 57 MPG. Keep in mind, this is not a hybrid version of the car, and it's quite good for the 1.6 132 horsepower engine. You can see here also the gearbox oil, or transmission fluid as other people like to call it, 3 liters. However, it kind of took 2.1, something like that. But now the car changed, when you change the gears, it's much smoother than it was before, and it didn't cost a lot. I've used Fabi Bilstein, and I'm quite okay with the result. It's okay. And again, air filter and cabin filter. Actually, cabin filter, I'm trying to change it every 6 months. It's only a few pounds, and you can notice the difference in how the smell is in the car. So this was about the maintenance cost, and I said add about 200, a couple of £100, £200 to this total. But now we will be speaking on the total cost, which I know maintenance, it's only a part of the cost of owning a car. Road tax for 3 years was about £600. Okay, not much, not too less either. However, it's not bad. Insurance for 3 years. It started with 580 for the first year of ownership. I think I had like 4-year no claim discount or something like that. It went down to 335. However, the first insurance was with Admiral, second one with First Central, and the third one with First Central as well. It went up. I didn't had any accident or anything like that, but although I didn't have a claim, it went up anyway for about £90. I guess it's inflation. Actually more, it's like £105. The MOT quantity too, because I had 2 MOTs, about £30. Actually, one of them it was 20. Anyway, we will put it as 30. It was £60, and the fuel for 30,000 miles calculated with 0.18 pounds per liter. No, actually per mile. Sorry. It was a total of 5,400. I do a lot of city driving, so in the city, in the town, I get maybe 38 mpg or 35, depends. If it's winter, I definitely get 35. In the on the motorway, I get 50 plus. It depends actually. So the total cost of road tax, insurance, MOT and fuel was about 7,380, which it's arguable a lot of money if you consider the maintenance as well. the total cost per mile with depreciation, it was 36p actually, which is again not much, but it adds up, I would say. So this is a video that you can watch and take in the idea that when you own a car, it's not only the price that you pay forward for the car, like in the beginning you pay 6, 7, 10, whatever thousand for the car, or even a couple of grand, depending or what car you are buying. However, the maintenance cost it's about the same for basic cars. You need oil, you need filters, you need brakes and other parts which can fail, like the water pump in my case. So consider this when you're buying a car. I guess this video will help you to make an informed decision on what you can actually buy and budget a little bit, because nowadays it's quite important to do that. Thank you guys for watching. I would appreciate if you would share this video with someone which is looking for to buy a new car, and I mean new for him, maybe it's a second-hand car, and this will definitely help into budgeting. Again, like, share, and see you guys next time.